everybody. I am Coach Vinny. I coach the Overwatch team. I'll be casting here tonight, and I'm joined by.
I'm Sayer, also known as Pizza Boy on the league team. I am the sub for our mid laner.
So we're getting right into draft. The teams already did put these drafts together ahead of time, so these aren't going to be drafted in the order you typically would see. They're just going to pick top lane first, then jungle, then mid, bot, support. So we're playing Eastern University, correct?
Yes, this is UWRF versus Eastern University.
Yep, and taking a look at Eastern University's lineup, the ADC on their team is their best player by a substantial margin, so that's why we've seen 3 ADC bans coming out from UWRF, whereas you're seeing a lot of jungle bans coming away to target our best player, which is our jungler. So we're going to have a Riven Tryndamere matchup in the top lane. How do you think that's going to go?
I mean, I'm just surprised Riven was even left up. Riven is Astral Flying's best top laner by far, so I'm just surprised Eastern University left that up for Astral Flying to take. Riven into Tryndamere will be an interesting matchup. Obviously, once Tryndamere hits 6, it'll be a bit harder to take trades with him since he has level 6.
Yeah. And Tryndamere's quite strong early. I know they've nerfed him a couple times since they added that like extra range to him, which kind of broke him a while back. But I think it's probably Riven favored early.
Probably early game indeed.
Late game, it's probably Trynda. Like Trynda just struggles into any characters that he can't kill really fast or that burst him really fast. Like if you have like a pattern where you burst, and then you kind of kite him out for a little bit, and then you can kind of just kill him after his ult's over. Like, it's pretty rough. Victor mid lane versus Aurelion Sol. I think this is Victor lane phase favored, and then late game, obviously the A-Sol is going to start scaling out.
A-Sol's scaling is insane at the current moment.
And then we have the classic Zyra Khan for Eastern University into the Jhin Rel. So, I think that's... I don't know exactly how. I think that's probably a Zyra Khan favored lane.
Maybe. Definitely depends on how they play it out.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's definitely still a skill lane. Like, most bot lanes aren't, like, unplayable unless there's, like, you're talking, like, Draven or, like, Callista lane where the ADC is really, really strong early. Jhin or Zyra aren't particularly strong early. Jhin still has pretty good 4-shot trading. But, again, like... both of them have the engaged support. Both of them have like pretty good. Zaya's obviously going to win extended trades, whereas Jin's going to win short trades. So. And
we do see Silas on the side of UWRF, and on the side of Eastern University, these are decently good ults to steal for Silas. I mean,
I think the top 3 is. I think the best ult is Rakan, followed by probably Jarvan or Trynd. Yeah. Zaya is kind of underwhelming because you don't get to pull back the feathers, so you kind of miss out on like the biggest part of that that ultimate, which is like getting the. I mean, obviously going invincible is really strong, but then not having the pullback is where most of the damage and utility comes from that ult. So curious to see how it's gonna go. And then Victor ult, I don't know. I mean, it has a really high AP ratio, but if he doesn't get like the upgraded speed version of it, it kind of becomes kind of mediocre.
I mean, we could also see a wombo combo coming from Eerie Ravenhood on
I mean, Rel Victor is actually a pretty strong combo.
And a Silas Victor ult.
When you have everybody getting pulled in by the Magnet Storm.
So maybe they could coordinate something with that ult.
They definitely could. I think there's cookage to have here, you know? Like they can definitely come up with some nice combos here. Like I think they'll have a solid game plan here. And I think the other thing too is like those melee champs like Trynd and Jarvan and Rakan, like less so Rakan, but those two are gonna struggle into A-Sol late game when he's got his Rallies and like the giant E. That kind of just zones you out.
Yeah, A-Sol will just play back, getting stacks from Q, and then just poke them from afar.
Yeah, it can definitely become really hard. Like A-Sol is just like is a nightmare to play into as like a melee champ because you're just getting slowed and you're just taking a gajillion damage. And you get on him and he starts flying away from you. All the while just murdering you. It's pretty tough.
As we see in like the banning from on the side of UWRF at least, we do see all ADC bans. So they really do not want this ADC player to
They really don't want him on anything that he's comfortable with. But I think ADC is like weirdly one of those things where it's like a lot of the characters kind of play similarly to each other. It's not like it's not as much like top lane or like mid lane where you can get some like significantly different play styles, or even jungle or support. I feel like those characters are a little bit more unique, whereas it's like ADC, it's like you know how to auto attack, like you'll be pretty okay on most things. Like there are definitely some weirder ADCs like Kalista, Draven,
Zeri.
Yeah, Zeri, Lucian,
Ezreal.
Yeah, Ezreal. Like those ones are definitely a lot more, and Nyla now, definitely a bit more unique. But then like if you're playing like a Xayah, it's like Xayah is not all that different from a Jinx, who's not all that different from like
a Sivir,
a Tristana, or an Ashe, or like, you know, they all kind of have the same game plan at the end of the day.
Just auto attack as much as possible.
Yeah, auto attack, kite, don't get space as best you can, don't get picked out. Like, it's pretty standard stuff here.
It looks like we'll be getting right into the game though.
Yep. So the delay is over. We're loading up the game, and
we'll swap over to game view in just a moment.
For sure. Do you want to take us off the screen? It's fine.
All right.
That looks too zoomed in there.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like both teams are just opting for a 5-point. Unfortunately, you guys can't see the mini map currently.
Yeah, well, our camera's a bit bugged on stream right now.
We are fixing it at the moment, but yeah, we're opting for a standard 5-point here. It looks like there's gonna be a little bit of skirmish here. Rakan just gonna W over the wall. That's his W, right?
You have to switch over to game view. Oh, you're not in the game view, so you were in game lobby view.
But both teams pretty much just walking out here perfectly fine. And yeah, no invades here. Aaron is going to be opting. It looks like Aaron is going to be opting to path top lane, whereas Jarvan is looking like he's going to be going for a bot path.
Yeah, I mean, I think UWRF is trying to play a more top side.
Yeah.
I mean, Arrow Hunter's always played for top lane whenever he's been playing in these matches. So it's very typical for him.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, drafting, like, a Jhin, you don't really need to, like, do as much to take care of him. If you want, you can kind of just, like, leave him to be. Looks like Victor has, like, a very slight push advantage here.
You're getting some damage off on him, though. We do see a bit of a skirmish down the bot lane on Rakan and
Rakan going to take a bit of a trade there, though. Unfortunately for UWRF, not able to get to the 4th shot there to really make the trade hurt, but still fine. Tryndamere sitting here at full thing, gets his E canceled, but yeah, pretty spicy here in the mid lane right now.
Yeah.
Asol already below half. Howardy has popped one, or both mid laners have already popped one of their potions here. But Aaron Hunter looking like he's going to come in here for a level 2 gank here.
Xayah's getting ignited by the Rel, tries to get away, burns flash.
Xayah, but yeah, Aaron Hunter in. Gets the pick, burns his flash, and it looks like they're going to clean this up for a 2v2 here.
Rakan getting the first blood there. Not ideal in terms of gold exchange, but at least it didn't go to the UWRF.
Yeah, I mean, UWRF misses that extra, like, basically, what, 200 gold?
I think I believe it's 100 gold.
Well, no, because the assist, too.
Oh, yes, the assist.
The assist is worth more.
We do see an early gank as well from the Jarvan. We do see a flash from Riven, though.
Yeah, not chancing getting knocked up there by Jarvan. Worried that he might go down here. Looks like Asol might have to opt here. He could pop his cookies. I mean, he is low health, so he'll get a lot from it.
Arrow Hunter looks like he's going to go for a mid gank here.
Yep, Arrow Hunter walking in. It looks like Victor is walking out here. Probably just helping his mid laner shove out of this pretty, like, precarious lane state, which is never bad. Here we see that the result of the gank here is, unfortunately, Riven was pushing the lane when she got ganked, and so now she's half health. Tryndamere is just going to out-sustain you in the lane, and so Trynd is just going to opt for a freeze.
Yeah. Rakan once again trying to go for a W knock-up there. He gets rooted
Ooh, double
and
knock
knocked
up here. But again, is this the kind of trade you want to go for? Is he going to be able to get the 4-shot here? Nope.
It doesn't look like he will be able
Looks
to.
like Silent. They're going to actually move up for this invade here on the blue buff. Jarvan going to be able to potentially smite this away, but
Jarvan gets caught out. He gets rooted by the Jin W, and it looks like he dies. Fridgley gets the kill there.
Now bot lane is going to be forced to run away here.
Fridgley once again has 4-shot, hits it on the Xayah this time.
Yeah, so both bot lane coming in as well as the Acel there collapsing in on that invade. Jarvan gets to smite his blue buff, but going to pay for it with his life and also with his Gromp here as Sylas is going to go in. Curious to see if Sylas is going to try for a gank here. Yeah. There are red wards all over the jungle here, and Aaron Hunter going to go down early here.
That was actually
but
Raven
they
Hunter.
see Sylas in the river, so they're not going to continue any further there.
It seems like we're seeing a bit of vertical jungling on the side of Arrow Hunter here.
Yep, and Jarvan's just going to basically respond in kind. He's moved over to, looks like the blue buff on red side. Are we red side? Or blue side?
We're blue side, actually.
Yeah, on blue side here. So he's going to be stealing that away currently, and it doesn't look like Arrow Hunter is going to try and contest it. TP out here from Victor. Down back to the thing, and I think we're gonna be seeing this. Oh, Acel already forced to burn his TP actually, so he's just gonna recall. So yeah, Trend has that challenge of you can't really. He's kind of like Garen. You can't really trade evenly with him because he's just gonna press his key. He's gonna build up his rage and press his Q and just heal a lot in the early game. Kind of like how Garen is just gonna use his passive to just kind of sustain you in the early game.
It does seem like Astro Flying is getting the Trinimir's E's out.
Yeah, but
we do see a flash from the Victor trying to avoiding the rel W there.
Yep, and exactly, like Rel roaming up here, and it looks like Zyrakan are going to be rotating to mid as well, potentially for the dragon, but it looks maybe they're expecting a fight there.
It looks like they're actually passing up.
Astroflying forcing an engage here early.
Trinimir
probably flashing, trying to get level 6, I would assume, to get his ult there. But it looks like Jarvan might potentially just trade that out. Flash coming out from Jarvan there to secure the kill. Didn't want to let Riven do Riven things and just dash a million times away from him.
It seems like the bot lane's actually up here to take grubs or at least secure them. Yeah. Grubs were actually changed this patch.
Interesting.
So grubs now spawn at 6 minutes, and to get the Hunger of the Void buff, or the first Hunger of the Void buff, now you need 4 grubs instead of 5.
Interesting. Did they make it so now that you can get 3 Hunger of the Void stacks, or is it still just the max 2?
It's still max 2, so getting 5 no longer gives a Hunger of the Void stack.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's just 4 and 6.
Yeah. We see Trinimir trying to run down.
Forcing his ghost. He does have his ult here. He could go for a dive, but it looks like he's just going to opt to just take the trade.
Ravenhood catching the Xayah out of place. Xayah will go down.
Aaron Hunter forced to use his flash here. Rakan trying to come in to try and get that kill is going to get the blast cone to be able to get out. However, flash was forced from Rakan to do that. Astroflying not noticing this Jarvan walk in here.
Jarvan
going to be able to get the knock up, and that should just be a very free, easy kill for them.
Yeah, it seems like the Jarvan is just trying to give the top lane as much of an advantage as possible.
Yeah, I mean, bot lane's already up 2 kills. Well, up 1 kill, right? And very similar CS, so he could just be being like, this is just like every time I've been bot, it's been kind of tough for me. So I'm going to maybe just try to make these cross-map plays, you know, while the Sylas is stealing my bot jungle, right? Arrow Hunter has spent a large amount of the game in his bot jungle.
Yeah.
And so I think the Jarvan's just making that adaptation to really just try to avoid it as much as possible so that he doesn't get collapsed on like he did on his blue buff.
We did see Eerie avoid the Victor stun by Wing out of it too.
Yeah, Victor does have his ult here, so if they could look for a trade here, Victor R could potentially secure something.
Victor having 0 KP at the moment, which isn't ideal for him as he needs takedowns in order to boost the time on his upgrades.
Yeah, Victor, if you're not part of any skirmishes or anything like that, it can be pretty tough to like actually get your upgrades in any reasonable amount of time.
We do see Jarvan coming down from his blue jungle, and taking out the
Looks Astroflying forced the flash there. Having to respect. I'm curious. I mean, Trinidad had no sums there, so he probably didn't want to chance the dive after the flash. But, you know, going forward now, right? Astral is very chunked. If Trinidad pushes this wave in, he could very easily look for this dive.
We do see a Cataclysm coming up from Jarvan.
Jarvan going to fall here, but they do collect. They do get the pick on the Jhin. Arrow Hunter potentially here if Rel is able to land and stop these backs.
This is a really risky play from Astral Flying here, as Tryndamere still does have ult.
Tryndamere probably just going to E in and ult here. I think Astral Flying really needs to just respect and base here, but it doesn't look like he's going to opt for that.
Astral Flying playing a bit of risky games here. Tryndamere does have ult still.
Yeah, both no sums here. So if Trin's been paying attention, he should know this dive is extremely free for him.
We do see Arrow Hunter coming in the mid lane, though. And it looks like Arrow Hunter gets the kill on Victor there. I couldn't tell if he stole Victor ult and used it or if he just stole Victor ult.
Yeah, Tryndamere not opting to really go for the dive there. I'm curious why he decided that. Is he waiting for his ghost to come up? I'm not really sure. But
maybe, but I feel like he wouldn't need ghost in order to dive with, especially with his ult up.
He was so low that just an E plus like ulting would have been more than enough. I think that is a bit of a misplay from their Tryndamere there. I think he didn't quite push his advantage as much as he could have. Backing on a ward here, they're gonna stop it, and it looks like it's just going to opt to just go and recall again. He is going to drop some CS for this recall, but
second set of grubs is spawning soon.
Yep, and it looks like the bot lane from Eastern University here is going to actually rotate up to make sure they can secure those grubs. Notice Victor is already rotating up towards the grub side here.
Eerie getting caught up by the Victor. Gets out of the stun cage, though.
Gets chunked. And it looks like Tryndamere going to pop Ghost here and try to run down the Riven in top lane.
Riven does have a lot of dashes, though, so Riven will be able to get out.
Yep, Riven rotating down here now. This is going to be a 3-on-3. However, Xayah is going to have first move here. TP coming out from Asol into the mid lane here to try and contest. Aaron smites away one buff here, but is that going to cost him his life? It absolutely will.
We do see a current call coming in from Jhin. I don't think it'll do enough damage, though.
Not enough low targets here on the side, right?
Air Hunter stealing one grub, but not letting them have the
full passive.
Yeah, the full Hunger of the Void, but they do have the first one.
Yeah, I mean, this has definitely been more of a bot-focused game for UWRF this season. Arrow Hunter has not really been top to help assist with the Tryndamere very much this game, whereas the Jarvan has definitely been top lane quite a bit.
Yeah.
You can see that in like the difference in platings taken, right, and CS. Tryndamere up quite a bit of gold this match, already on his Kraken Slayer, as you might see. Whereas Riven is still trying to complete her Eclipse, which is a cheaper item as well.
Eastern University seems to be going for this dragon here. Will UWRF be here to contest it? They will. Cataclysm coming in from Silas. We do see a Sky's Descent from Eerie there.
Eerie, though, getting exhausted, so he's just not able to quite finish off these targets. Gets them very low. Jhin ghosted, but he's trying not to go into the Xayah E.
Rel getting the knockup on the
stunning
Victor
up
there.
The Victor, yep. Just going to opt to give it over to their Jhin. And that's going to be a one fight, I would say, for UWRF.
Yeah, I mean, UWRF only lost Arrow Hunter there, and they did kill Jarvan and
Riven
Victor.
Forcing the Tryndamere ult here, but Tryndamere just has so much damage. You're just never killing it. Like, you don't have the survivability to live through a Kraken Slayer Tryndamere.
Yeah.
Once you pop all your stuff there, right?
We do see a TP coming in from Victor into the mid lane. Jarvan's here too.
I think this is probably going to be another Drake look, maybe. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like top tower is going to be falling here, and maybe Tryndamere is going to rotate to Draken this time. He doesn't have ult, which is a big deal, right? Trynd with no ult is a horrible team fighting champion.
Yeah.
You have to be insanely high ahead, and even if you are, Tryndamere kind of has the ADC problem of he buys only damage, and so he doesn't really have the survivability.
It looks like
UWRF posturing here. Tryndamere running back top, so UWRF doesn't know this yet, but it looks like Silas might just opt for a Rakan engage here. Curtain call coming out. Silas in, charming up everyone. It looks like he might be able to get a pick. No, he is not able to take the Xayah down.
Cataclysm coming in from Jarvan. Doesn't kill anybody. Jarvan is low. So is Xayah.
Jarvan falling here to this Jhin. This Jhin is getting absolutely massive, but so is Xayah. Xayah's actually been picking up more kills than Jhin in these fights.
Xayah trying to challenge Eerie here, and she wins.
Yep. Jhin not able to land the W there, and it looks like she's just going to be able to walk out. So I'd say that was pretty bad for UWRF, all things considered. They lose the Drake. They lose more targets even after they go in with that Sylas engage. But, like, Sylas just doesn't – he uses Rakan ult well, but – not the way Rakan uses it. It's usually better for him to just CC one target and just like blow them up, because you can still, this is something I found out, you can still auto, for some reason I'm like, oh, you can auto while you're in Rakan ult. Rakans just never do because they don't do any damage, but like if you're Sylas, you most certainly do auto damage.
It looks like we're going to see a gank here from Air Hunter on the Tryndamere.
Yeah, they don't quite, I don't know if they know if Tryndamere has his ult up. If they're paying attention, they should know that. This is going to be a hard gank, and Rakan rotating up here, so same with Ravenhood. But this is going to be a really hard fight to take, I think.
Rakan getting E'd there. Tryndamere going in with a Ghost.
Yeah, Tryndamere opting for the Ghost here, but it looks like he's just going to run out.
Eerie does have Sky's Descent. Sky's Descent coming in. It hits 3 of them.
Huge Riven ult here. Takes down the thing. Tryndamere going to be falling there.
Air Hunter stealing Tryndamere ult there and surviving.
Honestly, just an extremely clean 3 for nothing.
And that's almost an ace for UWRF.
Yeah, 4 for nothing. 4v4, no kills dropped for UWRF. I mean, that's about as good as it gets, right?
Good Sky's Descent from Eerie there, and Air Hunter stealing Tryndamere ult and using it immediately is really good there, too.
Yeah, I mean, your Eastern University just didn't have their Xayah there. Their most fed member wasn't there to take that fight, and that just really shows, right?
Xayah going in alone here, trying to do some poke damage.
Yeah, Xayah trying to catch Aaron on the Raptors there, but just Aaron walks out, gets his camp. And it looks like Astroflying is going to be trying to trade back this top tower. Jarvan Tryndamere, though, headed top. We'll see if he can avoid this gank.
Astroflying getting cut up with a Jarvan once again.
He's going to opt to try and just die and take this turret. I don't think he's going to get out. The Tryndamere slow is going to be too much here, I think.
Yeah, it also looks like Rakan's hitting up here, too.
And, yeah, shut down for Jarvan there. But in the meanwhile, is UWRF going to be able to take down the Xayah here? Xayah misses her ult.
Current call coming in from Fridgely. That's a shutdown for Air Hunter on Xayah.
Absolutely massive shutdown there. 900 gold.
And Herald is being summoned mid lane to take out that turret.
Yep, and it looks like they're going to be going for the first tower crack here. What's the dragon timer looking like? I feel like we're due for a dragon pretty shortly here.
I'd give it about another minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah, so we'll have to see if UWRF starts prepping the vision here. Currently, they get a charge on a tier 2. However, Ravenhood gets knocked up, forced to flash out to live here.
Victor ult is burned there as well.
Yeah, Victor ult is going to be burned, but curious to see what objectives are going to be up in the meanwhile. It looks like bot tower also is going to go to the Asol here right after he finishes.
Xayah is here to meet him though.
Yeah, but he still has his W here. It looks like that tower is not going to quite go down. And Asol is just going to opt for probably a back before dragon. We see Rakan coming in here and probably just getting vision control prior to the dragon here, clearing out the control wards and just any regular wards that UWRF might have. And potentially Xayah is going to be pushing for a bot turret here. Asol backing up. He's probably not sure if Jarvan is sitting here. Jarvan is bot side, just not in the bush right now, but notably all of those Void Grubs make it very, very easy for Eastern University to just take that tower, even though it was half health.
Yeah, Eerie opting just giving up tower there.
It looks like Xayah is pinging the Drake. Drake's going to be up in 40 seconds here. They're both backing right now to make sure they spend their gold before the fight. Rakan gets his support item completed along with his first Zeke's convergence, so that's definitely big for them. We'll have to see. And now we see Ravenhood coming in and clearing out all the vision control that Rakan got earlier.
We do see UWRF seem to set up a hold on Dragon Pit here.
And it looks like Tryndamere just going to be walking down this Riven. Not much Riven can do here.
That is a flash from Tryndamere, but it does kill the Riven.
Tryndamere burns his flash here. I don't think he actually needed it to get the kill. They're all sitting here on a ward here. I don't think they know in mid-wish, but they're going to go opt to start Dragon here, and it just look how fast they do it, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, Arrow Hunter has to stop the Trinimir's push on the top lane there.
Yeah, unfortunately, the matchup top lane has been pretty rough for the Riven player here. Just finding that they don't quite have the damage to force Trinder ult early and be able to run away at the same time. You really need your teammates to deal with that. So they're going to have probably the split push advantage this series. Dealing with that trend on the side lane is going to definitely be a headache for them.
Yeah.
What do you think they can do? I mean, if this Tryndamere is if they notice he's continuously pushing and overextending, they could definitely send multiple people bot. They know he just burned Flash. So they know he just has Ghost. So if they send maybe Rel there or any other Silas, you might be able to get that pick.
As I think the key to killing this Tryndamere here is just having more than one person challenging him. Because Tryndamere on one-on-one is very deadly.
Arrow Hunter going in for the burst onto the Xayah will go on 100-0.
Jarvan
trying to trade this back out, but Arrow Hunter's surviving for now. They're both coming down. Is he going to be able to get his W up? He does. It makes him live, and they get the double.
Victor TPing right into the middle of the team fight.
Victor going to flash, gets hit by W here, and that's going to be him falling. Even through Seraph's... Even through, what's that item called?
Seraph's Embrace?
Seraph's Embrace. That's what I thought. I hesitated for a second.
Yeah,
even through the Seraph's Embrace mana shield there,
that's
just not able to survive.
Unfortunate for Eastern University. They're getting 4K again. Arrow Hunter killing the Xayah with a Storm Surge, I saw.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Asol went and matched the Tryndamere split push in the bot lane. Yeah. Asol does have just crazy wave clear.
Yeah, I think sending Eerie down there was a really good idea for you to
this Asol can definitely match the Tryndamere, right? Your W doesn't get slowed by his W. He's got his rallies already, so he can kind of just slow this Tryndamere and clear waves from far. Tryndamere doesn't really have a super good way to actually deal with that wave clear coming out of the Asol.
Arrow Hunter stealing Recon. I wonder if he's gonna use it soon or save it for later.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. Knowing Aaron, I think he'll probably look for a play sooner rather than later. That's just kind of the player he is. He probably doesn't know he's sitting on a ward, so they're not gonna give him that angle. But it looks like Asol opting no longer to match the Tryndamere, going to be rotating to mid, and Riven just continuing to get her head just beat in.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a good idea for UWRF to send Riven down here, but we do have the Jhin and Rel down here now.
But now the Rel's here. Ult forced from Tryndamere just to live. Riven gonna have to make sure she respects this Tryndamere. And there goes the Tryndamere. Meanwhile, Silas just absolutely one-shotting Victor in the top lane.
That disguise ascend from Eerie there, killing Xayah. Yep. It looks like Rakan is going to die here. 2 curtain call from Fridgley here.
Curtain call just doesn't matter. Slows you down too much. Even the flash doesn't get you out of range. And that's going to be a huge play for this. We could probably see a look for a Baron here.
Yeah, it looks like UWRF is looking for a Baron play here. Baron also did get changed in the latest patch. Baron now does a lot more damage than he did before. So Baron is now truly much more of a raid boss.
Definitely more of a team objective nowadays. We see Astro flying, just making sure that this Jarvan isn't over the wall to try and steal this.
Yeah, and there it is.
The damage coming out. Normally, Jhin is not a fast Baron taker, but Asol certainly is, right?
Yes.
Just one of the faster Baron takes for mid laners. I'd say maybe you could say Azir is up there too. But yeah, Asol is definitely not far behind. So UWRF able to secure the Baron off of those kills that they got across the map there. They were really top lane, bottom lane, and mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, really good plan from UWRF in the bot lane, especially sending 3 people to match that Tryndamere.
And exactly what we were saying earlier, right? That Tryndamere is proving way too much for this Riven to really be able to deal with. And so sending multiple people like that Rel really makes a huge difference, right? Just a little bit of CC on Tryndamere where he's not able to just hit you perma makes you just have that much easier of a time with him.
Yeah. And then another... Also, Eerie in the mid lane just being able to 2v1 that Xayah and Rakan, especially with Sky's Descent and just killing the Xayah under turret. Amazing play on his parts.
Tryndamere coming around for a flank. I think they saw him on a
ward
there.
They did see him with a Vision Plant, actually.
And Silas going to take the Tryndamere R here. Probably going to pop it.
He does pop it. Tryndamere does have to run, though. Tryndamere getting away.
Just getting away, but Curtain Call coming in for Xayah. Xayah Is she going to be able to live
Jarvan
here?
cataclysms his team with Rel there. That's not good.
Flash forward, kills the Xayah. Will they'll also be able to kill the Jarvan here, and now are they going to be able to get more?
Frigidly missing the W.
But they're probably just going to opt to probably pressure this inhib turret.
Yeah, bad play from Eastern University there. Jarvan just locked Xayah and Rakan with the Rel in a cataclysm. Not great for them there.
Yeah, UWRF though just feeling like they're probably just a little too low, and they're just gonna opt for the Baron or the Dragon take here. They don't want to give Soul Point over to Eastern University here if they can avoid it, right? That means that you suddenly become one flip away from giving over Soul, and all of a sudden the game that you're in the driver's seat of just kind of slips away from you a little bit, right?
Yeah.
UWRF sitting here right now with about a 5K gold lead. And so they're definitely firmly in the driver's seat. They just don't want to give away any of these shutdowns that they've got on their champs because that could make a very big difference for Eastern University. I would say that the scaling is actually pretty close on both sides of the lane here. I think Xayah outscales Jhin just a little bit. I think that like Tryndamere definitely outscales Riven. And I think that, yeah, Asol definitely outscales the Victor. I think Victor still has quite a bit of good scaling himself. That can definitely be a big threat later on in the game once he's got his items.
Air Hunter going in on Rakan, misses the second recast of E. He does steal Rakan ult in the process though. Yeah,
Rakan ult stolen away here, but UWRF just not really able to take a ton of turrets here with their Baron play here. I think I have them to feel that it just like has a little bit to do with the fact that it's really hard for them to side against this Tryndamere.
Yeah.
So they've been kind of afraid to 1-3-1 this Baron push. And so they really haven't done a good job of shoving out the side lanes until just now, but I think their Baron is going to be coming to an end pretty soon here.
I think it's actually over.
Yeah, and it looks like it is actually over. So UWRF not really able to take any turrets with the Baron there.
Yeah, I mean, UWRF does have a 5,000 gold advantage, so hopefully...
No, they definitely got some nice gold and pressure, but yeah, they weren't really able to convert to any objectives off of that other than the Dragon. So now it's just going to be a bit of a waiting game here, right? Everyone's going to be pushing their lanes, trying not to get caught.
We do see Jarvan and Rakan in the top river. I wonder what they're looking for here, though.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to opt maybe for a lane gank here, set up in the brush here while Victor pushes this out. And if any of UWRF's members here show up, they would go for the play. But looks like they're not going to wait around to see if anyone comes top. UWRF, again, just kind of, everyone's just going to kind of push waves here, just get their CS, get their gold until there's something to fight over, right? That's kind of that discipline that comes with pro play, right? Or like more competitive, 5v5 team plays. People don't just take random fights in the middle of river at 25 minutes when there's no objectives up.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, Xayah gonna get the chunk here, but just doesn't have any teams there. She can't go forward. So again, yeah, just both teams gonna go back to pushing waves until there's something to do. UWRF getting a lot of vision though in the topside jungle. Baron will be up before Drake, so they probably want to have that control. And maybe they're looking here to actually get this Victor pick.
A curtain call from Frigidly is coming out.
Flash forced, and they get Seraph's Embrace. Meanwhile, though, in the bot lane, it looks like Astral Flying is probably going to go down here. Force the flash away, and Ghost comes out from Tryndamere here. Has a lot of things, but Tryndamere still has his ult here.
Astral Flying trying his best to get away. I don't think
going down to Xayah though in the top lane.
Wait, Astral Flying actually being able to manage to get out.
Yeah, Astral Flying actually gets away here. Does he still have the recast on his R? I don't know.
Tryndamere gets killed by Frigidly there, and Rakan gets killed by Astral Flying. Bad play on the part of Eastern University there.
Yep. So Asol went down in the top lane. However, both the Tryndamere and Rakan weren't quite able to secure that pick, and they pay really hard for it when the UWRF comes to collapse on them, and they no longer had any of their ults or sums. So this is probably going to lead to another look for Baron here, right? And that's exactly what we see. Ravenhood sitting in the brush there, trying to make sure that nobody is coming over the wire, but looks like he's just going to opt over. This is definitely a much less comfortable Baron take.
Especially without Eerie here.
it's a 4v or 5v4
we
here.
do see Erie
TPing in. So now they Eastern University certainly knows what's up, but it looks like they're gonna try to opt to just trade the dragon here. But we'll have to see what UWRF opts for here. Are they going to push lanes, or are they going to run straight to dragon? They do have the empowered ult from Asol this fight.
Yeah, Sky's Descent will be really good for a team fight here, especially if
Jin backing though. They're actually going to have a couple members from UWRF back here. This could get really bad if they're able to collapse here.
Erie spotting all of them and slowing a bunch of them down, being able to get out there.
Yeah, Erie taking about 30% of his health here before the fight. So definitely not like ideal conditions, but he still can play from so far away, and his ult will still get a ton of value this fight. So looks like UWRF currently, Drag is up, but they're going to opt for a mid push here.
Air Hunter also opts to take Xayah ult here. Here comes the Sky's Descent from Erie.
And that's just going to be absolutely massive.
Sky's Descent and Xayah ult coming from Arrow Hunter as well as a curtain call from Fridge.
And that's going to be nearly an ace.
It looks like Tryndamere was forced to back in top lane in order to help defend.
So they're probably going to take this turret here. They have to be careful though. Tryndamere does have ult. He could 100% make a play here.
Tryndamere is taking a lot of damage from the Asol though.
Gets the shot
and he gets executed.
But he is killed there. The Jin 4-shot just doing so much damage, just insta executes him with the Asol. Riven pushing top tier 2, collected it as well. They get one inhib, and they're probably going to rotate down to bot lane. It looks like they're going to probably try to take this tier 2 as well and get that gold, and then maybe rotate down to drag. Riven taking this inhib as well.
Asol scaling really hard right now. I wonder how many stacks Asol have. If Observer doesn't mind clicking on Asol real quick.
Let's see, Asol has, it looks like Chad is blocking our vision. It looks like 340 approximately. 344 stacks currently. So Asol absolutely massive at this stage in the game. We saw that there in that last fight with the Sky's Descent just absolutely wrecking.
Yeah. Asol's also up, I think, 4,000 gold on the Victor.
Yeah, quite a bit of gold, and when you're already playing the champ that outscales and you're that far ahead, doesn't spell very good for your opponents, right?
Yeah.
And it looks like this Riven too has managed to finally kind of stabilize. She's equal in gold here, has bought kind of tanky stats. The Sterex helps her not get one shot by the Tryndamere. And so she's no longer really at threat from just dying from she's able to burst the Tryndamere in time, and then is tanky enough that Tryndamere can't just like run her down and kill her before she's able to, you know, potentially have a winning fight. So the side lane, I would say, is also somewhat stabilized here. Arrow Hunter
trying to catch out Rakan there. Rakan does get out. We do have Ravenhood here. Will they look for a dive for a
don't know that it looks like Jarvan was hiding in that bush, but
it doesn't matter. Jarvan dies. So does Arrow Hunter.
So does Arrow Hunter. Asol ult coming down, clips the Jarvan, and it looks like Tryndamere forced to ult and get away.
Astro flying, not dying, but
curtain call coming out though, and it's just going to do massive damage at this stage in the game.
Jarvan goes down to the curtain call. Victor goes down to the black hole from Asol.
Asol probably going to force the Zonias here. This Xayah is doing a large amount of damage. Xayah, the Jin auto just does an absurd amount of damage.
Asol going over the wall, killing Xayah, and it looks like UWRF might be looking to close this one out.
Yeah, Jin and Asol just so fed at this stage in the game. They're just doing like Jin, not really playing into a tank this game, so he's feeling really good, right? He's just able to just basically kill anyone with any rotation of his autos here.
Rakan trying his best to keep the game alive, but it's not enough. That's game one for UWRF.
Yeah, so UWRF just after they just kind of played a better map game. I would say that they dropped top lane in favor of the rest of the lanes and invasions too. And so they were able to catch Jarvan multiple times in his jungle. They were able to catch the rotations through the river of Eastern University, and then they were also able to get some ganks and picks off on the bot lane as well as mid lane that just really, you know, like at the end of the game we saw it wasn't Riven carrying, it was definitely the mid lane and bot lane that were just too much for Eastern University to deal with. So
I mean, UWRF playing for their scalers. Aurelion Sol, really good scaling character. And we have Jin, who's also a really good scaling character for damage.
Yeah, I would say into this, especially when there's no real true frontline on the side of Eastern University, Jin just has a field day, right?
Yeah.
So we'll be getting into probably next game here. So we're going to say goodbye for a second, and we'll see you soon.
Yep.
Everybody, welcome back. We're getting right into draft here, and it looks like Eastern University is taking blue side, and as well as first pick Tryndamere here. Shen coming out from the side of, I think this is us, right?
Yeah, UWRF has picked Shen
UWRF,
here.
as well as the Briar, one of Aaron's favorite characters, I know that much. And it's answered back by the Volibear jungle and Tristana mid, actually.
Wait, that's Tristana mid?
Yeah, it certainly is. Because otherwise they would have picked it.
Okay, interesting pick.
Yep, Syndra picked out to match it. UWRF sticking with their first 3 bans, same with Eastern University. However, they did change it up. This time they did ban Nautilus away.
Yes. I think during ban phase on the external website that the ADC did pick during the first phase, so they didn't really need to ban the ADC anymore.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
We do see the Jhin again.
It is a little weird to like watch draft when it's not happening in the order it normally would.
I think bot and mid swapped here.
Oh yeah, they must have. So it is a Tristana bot.
Yeah.
I just know Tristana mid is one of those characters that you can definitely bring, you know, to the mid lane. Kind of like Lucian a little bit, though less so now when after he got reworked like a year and a half ago or so.
I mean, I know our mid laner Eerie has been cooking a bit too much in the kitchen, some would say, and
I do like the Syndra pick here actually into the Asol, because the one thing that Asol is not good into is burst damage.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right, Asol has a lot of sustained damage, but if you're playing Syndra and you just Q E him and stun him, and then you drop your W on him and press R, like guy is gone.
Yeah,
right?
that's
like,
a lot of that's too much damage for Asol to handle.
It's way too much burst damage for Asol to actually live through, and so it makes Asol like either he's got to buy like Seraphs and hope that's enough to live, or he needs to buy Zonias, and Zonia's your R. And if he's doing that, he's just not buying the actual items that he really wants to buy, right? Like Asol really needs Rallies. He probably wants a mana item of some kind. So it's just like it becomes hard for Asol to like actually dip into those utility items a little bit until late game.
I feel like also another thing to add, I feel like the Syndra here is actually really good when looking at all of these characters.
For sure.
Because like Tryndamere, Tristana, Asol at times, Volibear especially, are all characters that can really dive heavily, and Syndra is just a character that can push those characters away with her E.
Yeah, Syndra E is just a really powerful spell into melees in general, right? Like, you just can't really get on top of her. Like, the only good way to deal with a Syndra is if you're setting up flanks, right? And your melees or your targets are coming from multiple angles, but it's going to be hard with the comp that they have, right? You're really only going to get that if you have a lot of setup time and vision control, or you get a TP into the back line and then you come that way, right? It's going to be pretty difficult for them to really, like, if they're trying to front to back into Syndra, yeah, that E is going to really hurt when they go for their engages. Same with Rakan, right? Rakan's also great at, like, peeling and disrupting those front lines with R. So it's just going to be an overall like difficult game for them to really pressure you to like Shen, Rakan, Syndra, like they all have really good peel for like the Jhin and like Syndra. So it's like it's going to be really hard to like actually access their damage dealers, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. And then this Shen also is an interesting pick because that definitely signals that you're not actually playing towards your top lane. Like, you know, you could opt to play towards Shen and help him get like control of the lane so that he can TP more freely. But you could also just see it as like, oh, we're just going to set up like, you know, a bot lane play with Shen or a mid lane play with Shen. Typically bot lane, obviously, right? Because you get those extra kills. So I'm curious to see how this game is going to go. And I actually think the Shen has a pretty good matchup into Tryndamere, right? Because you have your W, which can block Trin's autos. And you're also a pretty strong champ early game too. So like you can kind of contend with Trin in the early game, and then in late game it's really hard for him to actually dive you under tower.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually a pretty decent pick into it.
Yeah, I've also heard a lot of complaining from two of our players in particular that Shen does a lot of damage.
Yo, Shen does an absurd amount of damage early. Dude just builds health and then just one shots you. It's it's a bit absurd. Curious to see if he'll opt for the Titanic this game. I know a lot of Shens really like that item because it gives you your wave clear that you're kind of lacking. So it allows you to shove your waves and then look for TPs. And it also just synergizes, just gives you more damage. And then like I think I've seen a lot of times it's like that into like Frozen Gauntlet or something like that because you do press your abilities quite a bit, so you get a lot of those Iceborne procs. So curious to see how this matchup is gonna go, and we'll be getting into the game here in like about 5 seconds. Curious to see though if we're gonna see any early game action coming out this game, because last time we saw both teams opt for just a 5-point, right? Both teams didn't really look for the early invade, but I'm curious to see if we'll see it this game.
Yeah, I mean, we do see some pings coming in from Eastern University.
Like I know for a fact like Briar's pretty strong early just with W. You know, she can't pull out. She can't opt to not fight, but it looks like it's just going to be another 5-point from both teams here. I'm assuming both teams have done the scout work to kind of know what teams look for. You know, I've seen in the past games where you guys sniff out the invade pretty early. I do notice that Shen does position his sword. Shen did position his sword early into the game here.
Yeah, smart play from the Shen here, just positioning a sword so it can go through the enemy, so it can deal that extra bonus damage.
Yeah, no, if you for those of you who don't know, yeah, Shen, when he pulls his sword with his Q, if he pulls it through the enemy champion, it empowers his next attacks. Like, it always already empowers him, but it gives him extra attack speed. So you can really trade hard with you. So we'll have to look and see what happens. And it looks like Trin.
Wait, so is it a Tristana mid?
It's an ASOL bot. Because ASOL's sitting bot right now. It is Tristana mid. Did they put their ADC player mid?
I think I saw in the pregame chat that they were swapping positions, but I thought they would be swapping like characters and all that. But I guess no, they are just going for an ASOL bot and a Tristana mid. I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, I've definitely seen the ASOL bot lane be played in my like draft games. And I've seen people get run over by it, but I feel like that's just because, you know, you're a bit of a noob. I do think it's a better lane matchup. Like, I think Tristana has a better time into Syndra than ASOL does. But we'll have to see how ASOL is going to feel there. Yeah, and, like, Shen just absolutely bullying, right? That's what he does. He's very, very good at just early game aggression, and he got level 2 advantage there, and he made sure he made it count against the Tryndamere. It looks like UWRF also does have the bot lane push.
We do see a Volibear looking for a level 3 gank, it seems.
Yep. He's already level 3. Shen forced to E out. Q coming through. And is Shen going to have to flash this? No, it looks like he's just going to be able to walk out. But he is going to get chunked for his troubles there. Now UWRF at least knows that Volley is topside.
Yes. Arrow Hunter also seems to be going to mid, stunning the Tristana, but not killing
Volley
her.
flashing in. And it looks like Shen able to save his sums once again. Shen actually opting for Ignite over a TP here.
Very aggressive.
Volley did clear both top and bottom here, it looks like. So, or did he? No, he just cleared his top side and came top. Aaron Hunter actually cleared his top as well, but is opting for the invade here. Steals away the Raptors and is looking to steal probably the buff here with help from Syndra.
Yeah, it looks like we're seeing an invade from Aaron Hunter here.
Astral Flying doesn't have control of the lane anymore thanks to the double gank from the Volibear. But he does buy his team a lot of pressure, right? They know that. And Volley had to basically give up his entire bot side to do it. So Aaron Hunter made sure to punish him really hard.
We do see the knock-up coming in from Rakan, getting the Braum, but not the ASOL.
Yep. It looks like Volibear took top scuttle and then maybe is going to rotate to bot here. Shen just trading really hard here. However, Trin gonna be able to sustain this up, but Shen looking pretty comfortable, honestly, right? He is down a bit of CS in the top lane, so I would hope his CS will improve a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. Shen's items are a bit cheaper. He doesn't have necessarily the same cost.
We do see the Volibear go through Tribush. He was spotted on a ward, though.
Yep, and it looks like our bot lane is just going to back off here, respect the Volibear gank. And Volley just kind of jobless right now, right? He doesn't really have any camps to farm. He's too weak to really invade Aaron on his thing. And Shen is going to collect an absolutely massive wave up on top and be probably just recall. Flash coming out here from the thing, taking a tower shot for this, though. Izzy almost gets the Syndra. Ignite not quite enough, but burns both sums for that. Syndra going to be able to just TP back here. No problem. Yeah, catch the wave, but Tristana is going to get the recall off, right?
Yeah, both sums used by Tristana, not being able to kill that Syndra there, though.
Yep, she doesn't have the TP here, so going to have to back here and is going to not have push. So Syndra is going to have a bit of prio for when the Void Grub spawn, probably. Shen also doesn't quite have ult yet. Tryndamere looking to stop this back. W comes out. Gonna eat a little bit of damage here, but yeah, this is the trouble with Shen not having TP.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised that he opted for the Ignite. Like, Ignite is good if you're trying to kill Tryndamere.
Oh, it does seem like UWRF does get that dragon, though, undetected.
They're able to take that dragon, and it looks like Eastern University now is going to try to set up for the Void Grubs here. However, it's going to be hard. UWRF going to shove mid lane out here before they rotate up. They do have a control ward in the bush here. Aaron, if he's not careful, could definitely get jumped on. Yeah, Aaron probably overextending just a little bit here. Ian in, absolutely massive, but he's going to fall for his trouble here. First blood over to Tristana, definitely not what you want. Ghost, though, comes out from Tryndamere. And Shen didn't have his 6, so he wasn't able to teleport
to
help Aaron out there.
I mean, Arrow Hunter getting caught out there, not expecting the kill bush there from Eastern University.
Braum rotating around. This might be a gank attempt here from the volley Braum, potentially. Yep. And so here comes in Tristana. Syndra out of gas here. Doesn't really have anything more to trade.
That is Tristana ult down, though.
Tristana ult. Shen ult comes out. Braum going to fall to the Shen. So big pick here from UWRF. Not able to secure the grubs, but they are able to trade back the kill.
Yeah, good play from UWRF there, especially from the Shen, just ulting in on the Syndra and making sure she doesn't die. Taking
a look, though, at the CS values here, besides mid lane, UWRF is kind of struggling a little bit. Jungle is stabilized now. Aaron not able to keep dying there, not really able to keep up his CS numbers. He does have his camp, but he's not looking for camps right now. He's looking to maybe shove this Tristana off a ward, but Volibear just rotating behind. Flash in. They're going to be able to. Are they going to be able to one-shot the Tristana? No. And Aaron Hunter going to get executed here. Tristana both mid laners extremely low here. Tristana probably just going to shove this in back. Same with, I would assume, gets the thing, but just doesn't have the damage yet to quite secure the kill on the Trist. So she's going to get to be able to back here.
Good try on Eerie. They're trying to get a QE into a W combo. Not enough damage, like you said, to get the kill, though.
Yeah, and surprisingly, this Jhin is quite a bit down in farm. Curious to know if that's because he's been kind of solo laning a little bit into this Braum thing, but
it might be because just of Acel's just sheer pressure on lane and in terms of Acel's wave clear as well.
Yeah, it could just be a little bit easier. Volibear rotating down here, probably going to look for a dive here, but they don't know that Aaron Hunter is also sitting right here. Rakan going in on the Braum. Braum going to be able to jump out here. But this does leave both bot laners kind of chunked here, and they're not able to, they might not be able to shove this lane in too easily. As I say this, and Acel just starts deleting the wave. But
yep. We do see Tristana going into Air Hunter's red jungle.
Yeah, but they're gonna be able to set the freeze up here if they want it. Tristana coming in, ease him off of him, but he's gonna get the bomb explode and just absolutely chunk. Syndra here.
Eerie taking a lot of damage there from that trade with Tristana, not having QE prepped for the stun.
Yeah, not realizing that Tristana was wrapping around there on him, so wasn't able to set up the QE in time to actually stun Tristana and be able to walk out there. So
it does seem like Eastern University is looking to
potentially a
prep
bait here. Tristana going for the same play. Ignite comes out, gets the kill though with the R, and is going to be able to jump out.
Aaron ulting in. Will that be a kill?
No, the E doesn't reach and isn't able to slam him against the tower there.
Aaron E-ing immediately.
Absolutely huge play coming up from the Tristana there, able to get the 1v2 and get away with a kill there. Now Aaron Hunter too weak to really contest his Raptors, so he's going to go down to the Volibear there.
Not looking so good for UWRF here.
That mid play kind of snowballed into 2 deaths there. They knew that the Briar was probably sumless and just went for the invade, knowing that that Syndra wasn't there to be able to help her jungler on her camp.
Yeah, it does seem like we're seeing a Volibear come up to gank top lane.
Volibear ganking top, but I believe he has his E still.
He does.
Able to taunt out, avoids that. Gonna just dodge most of the damage here. Is Volley gonna go for an R here? Probably not. Aaron Hunter rotating up for the counter gank here, but are they gonna go for it? It looks like they're thinking about it. Syndra also rotating top here. Able to run out. Trend looking like he's gonna try to commit for this fight. Stunned up, but doesn't cancel the E momentum here.
He does flash to try to get out though.
So, still a flash play. Won't have it up. Trin most likely is going to not be able to really fight super hard for this fight. He's kind of low enough that his ult's going to get forced very early. However, Tristana, absolutely massive this fight. Going to have a very easy time killing this Briar. Shen ult comes out onto the Briar. Able to keep her up, but Tristana just has too much damage. Syndra falling here. Curtain call. Not able to find... Oh!
Killing Tryndamere, though.
Able to snipe out the Tryndamere just as his ult ends, but... Hey, bud, you do not win against that Tristana, right? She's a level up, has more items here. Shen trying to follow in. Tristana going about half. Braum not able to do this. And Tristana just going to absolutely just go pop off here.
She will burn to death by Ignite on Shen, though.
Aaron jumping in. Will the volley be able to get the kill? Yes, he is. Able to land the W there. Kills the Shen. Huge play for Eastern University. They're actually up 3K currently in this game. They have an extremely fed mid laner and jungler, despite Volley's really tough early game due to the double gank top lane. He's able to catch back up and actually pass Aaron Hunter in farm. Aaron Hunter currently on 4 deaths, which is not helping.
Not great for UWRF here.
Yeah, definitely not helping. It looks like UWRF is going to rotate down, though, for drag here. But are they strong enough to fight if Volley Tristana shows up? I mean, Asol already has the Rallies, which makes him really, really difficult to deal with as the melees of this comp. And, you know, Volley still doesn't have his first item, at least.
It does look like UWRF does get the Dragon.
Yeah, Eastern University just a little too slow on the rotation to Dragon to actually be able to do anything. But they are going to push into the jungle here to see if they can catch anybody. However, UWRF just backs off, and they're going to be fine. Also,
I noticed once again, UWRF did take 1 grub, so Eastern University did not get the full Hunger of the Void stacks again.
Yep, so Shen, pretty stabilized currently, looking a lot better than the Riven.
Frigidly missing a W there on the Braum.
Yep. So Shen just chilling in the top lane, going pretty even with Tryndamere here, and pulling quite a bit of pressure, honestly, right? This Tryndamere has not been was not in this lane state, you know, without the help of his jungler here. So it could have been a lot worse had the Shen not been pulling a lot of that early game jungle aggression to top lane. But Tristana rotating up here.
We are seeing Tristana coming up. Tristana W's in, puts a bomb on him.
She has R. She's going to be able to shove this Shen down this way. Ult comes out from Trin. Is Shen going to be able to look for a kill on the Trend? No.
It doesn't seem like it.
The Ignite from Tristana as well as the ult is just going to be too much damage. Shen just not able to get out, and also down both of his sums. So Shen really didn't have any outplay potential here. Looks like Syndra trying to roam bot lane to make a cross map play, you know, in response to that top lane roam, but just doesn't have the vision, and Eastern University more than ready for it.
I want to know your opinion on both of these teams' scalings here.
So I definitely think that the scaling is in favor of Eastern University this game, which definitely isn't what you want to hear when you're down like 3,000, 4,000 gold, right? I think obviously the Acel is going to outscale the Jhin at some point. The Tristana Syndra is pretty close in terms of scaling, right? I think Syndra is very strong this game, especially once she gets her items. She's going to be one-shotting. But just the Tristana is also just a just has very good scaling, right? I would say that Briar is going to outscale Volley, but Shen also doesn't really scale better than Tryndamere. I think he's good into Tryndamere, but like in terms of like playmaking here,
we do see a volley barrel coming in from side of Eastern University. Briar hits the volley barrel. I don't think that's
cancels
the
target. Cancels the aggro. Braum comes out late here, not able to, doesn't really do anything. However, Tristana went a little too hard there, had to burn her flash to not die. So overall, UWRF comes out in advantage-wise in terms of some plays here.
Braum is forced to flash. They're getting caught up by a lot of CC.
Yeah, so overall, pretty big trade, I'd say, for UWRF. They get how many flashes there? They got 2 flashes from from Eastern University here, and they didn't have to burn a single sum to do it. So I'd say if you're UWRF there, you're pretty happy. Because next time now, for the next 5 minutes, that Tristana is a lot more doable of a pick, which, you know, I'm surprised she doesn't have any shutdown currently, being 5-1.
Yeah, odd from the shutdown system in League of Legends.
Yeah. Meanwhile, another gank topside here. Just no mercy for the Shen player. And it looks like this Tryndamere does have his Kraken Slayer online. Ignite coming out. I think Shen is going to fall here. Not really. Oh.
Wait a minute. Oh,
Flash is in, but is he going to get picked on the way out? No, Tryndamere able to get out. I think he did have to burn his ult to do it. Asol here, though, is going to have to back off if he doesn't want to die. I think they're going to be able to do a dive here if they want.
Tristana did die as well.
Briar coming in, and that's an easy shutdown for UWRF there. Goes over to the Syndra, which if you're Eastern University, you definitely don't want to see it. Do we know how the Tristana got picked?
I think if I'm looking at this correctly, Tristana got picked in the bot lane while UWRF
Oh yeah, she died over there. Yeah, she did die. So she got caught by this, and that's a lot of damage over to the tier 2 here. Is UWRF going to be able to take it? Volley is the only one here to contest, and it looks like they're just going to be able to siege this down. They are splitting the gold 4 ways, though.
And that's 2 towers for UWRF.
Yeah, both bot towers just fall very easily there. UWRF able to back out with the empowered recall they had from the earlier Rift Herald play, and Aaron just going to opt to probably just walk out of here.
It does seem like Eastern University does want to chase Aaron down here. This might not be good for Arrow Hunter if they can catch up.
Yeah, they're pinging on to Aaron. Is Aaron going to opt to try to do this Gromp here? It looks like he's going to do it with the knowledge that he's just going to have to seed the Drake here. The UWRF is up 2 Drakes at the moment, so they're comfortable giving this. They don't need to fight a fight they're not ready to take here. And it looks like they might be looking for a play on Tryndamere, knowing that his ult should be down currently.
Yeah.
With the Syndra, Shen, and Rakan here, they have quite a bit of power.
And there goes Tryndamere.
Tryndamere just falls to the Syndra art. Syndra picking up 2 kills here now, getting the Asol as well as the Tryndamere now. She's gonna start to scale into that one-shot potential, right? She has her Luden's companion, and I think she's probably building towards that Shadow Flame.
Yeah, I mean, good calling from UWRF there. Keeping track of Tryndamere's ult cooldown and just killing him while it was still down.
Yep. Not quite sure how Syndra is doing in terms of her stacks at the moment, right? I would be curious to know what Evo point she's at. Definitely has the double Q. I haven't seen any of her other abilities yet, so I can't tell. It's pretty hard, and the E is the easiest one to tell because it gets so much wider. But if this W chunks pretty hard, if she hits it, then we'll also know. Volley rotating around here, they do spot him on their control ward, and they're just going to back off, not get the turret there. It is absolutely one shot, though.
We do see UWRF just playing clumped up as a group, especially that bot lane and the mid lane. So
gonna have to be careful though. Tryndamere, there's a long way to your turret here, and Tryndamere does have Ghost. He could definitely run you down if he wanted to. And with that Kraken Slayer, he does just do so much damage, and that's your W out, right?
Yeah, I feel like an advantage Shen has here is that W, just being able to negate all auto attacks, especially from Tryndamere.
The other thing too is Shen could actually TP out probably to an ally fast enough.
Arrow Hunter hitting the volley bear. I don't know if that's a good target though.
Braum right onto him. Jhin ghosted. Curtain Call comes out onto Tristana. Tristana falling extremely low.
Tristana does die to the Curtain Call.
Yep.
We are seeing a recon ult on the volley bear. Braum goes down to the Jhin again.
But it looks like Volley's going to be potentially able to get out here. He doesn't have a turret, but just no one really fast enough, and they might just turn their attention towards this Acel here.
Yeah, we did see
also shoving bot. So.
We did see Shen use his ult to get to top lane, as we can see.
No, they're actually going to opt to just give up that push, send Syndra bot lane to deal with the tier 2 push here, and then opt for a Baron, which I can't say I hate. I think this is a very good idea from UWRF, right? Syndra just clearing there. She did just get an Evo there. I don't know what one it was.
I believe it might have been E, yeah.
Yeah. Volley Bear subs out this. He's going in for the steal here. Ult's in.
Doesn't get the steal, though.
And is going to throw his life away. Stressful, though, for UWRF there. That could have been a catastrophic
It was a good attempt for Volley Bear there, but not enough. Aaron...
Volley does give away also a 300 gold bounty, so that was another extra 600 gold on top of this, which actually puts UWRF basically back exactly in the line with the gold with Eastern University here. So
something I do want to point out, Arrow Hunter, very stressful for the team, I can tell, because Arrow Hunter has had a tendency to lose those smite fights very commonly in these matches. So surprising that Arrow Hunter was able to pull that off.
And I think UWRF is going to look to convert this mid turret here too, right? No, they're actually just backing off. Dragon is going to be up here in probably about a minute and a half. Yep, minute 24. So this is going to be probably a pretty big, crucial fight for how this game is going to go, right? If either team gets picked off or loses really hard, the gold advantage is going to swing. All of a sudden, you give UWRF soul point if they win. If not, you give a bunch of gold back over to Eastern University. And again, don't want to do that into a scaling comp like they're running.
Yeah. Also, it seems like, like you mentioned earlier, Shen is opting for that Titanic Hydra build.
He went the Sunfire first, which I think is still like a fine, right? You just need a wave clear of some kind on the Chen so that you can shove those waves and then TP into the fights.
And there it is.
Yep. And Titanic completed for Shen. Shen probably going to push top lane until drag fight actually starts, at which point he'll probably opt to just teleport into the fight. Tryndamere doesn't have any CC to actually stop that from happening. So the best Trin can do is if he goes top is just push more waves, right? Big chunks coming out, though, in the mid lane, which is going to make it hard for this Drake fight, which is going to start here. Tryndamere coming in, but Shen, with this Titanic, just absolutely smacks.
Shen is just too tanky for this Tryndamere to handle. Tryndamere is forced to use Ghost to get away there.
Yeah, Shen, like I said, Shen, when he's got that item, he's no slouch when it comes to damage, right? Shen not letting Tryndamere get that base off, so he's going to be a bit late for this Dragon fight. Dragon is up. Both teams... not really rare. Tristana does have a flank angle, and UWRF has no vision there, so they don't know it's there. Curtain Call coming out. Is Tristana going to jump in off of this? Acel flying in a straight lane. Going to get super chunked here.
We might be in a game pause?
It could be a spectator issue. We were having that since the thing happened. Do you want me to go check?
Yeah, yes, please. Try Pressing A and then press A again. There you go.
Looks like it's just frozen.
Oh, and we're back. It seems like that was a game pause, maybe. Oh, it's O.
Oh, okay.
Press. Yeah, there you go. Yep, it looks like that was a game pause. We did miss Tristana dying there.
Sorry for that, folks. We're back, and it looks like UWRF gets that pick, and now they're probably just sending just Aaron over to do the drag here, right? Briar, more than enough to take that down by themselves. So Shen also gets bot tier 2. So that's a lot of gold in his pocket. And UWRF pretty in control of the map at this point. They are no longer, they don't have their Baron buff anymore, so their siege isn't quite as strong as it was.
Yeah, we apologies for some HUD issues. We are missing the player health.
Okay. It's totally fine. So UWRF going to back here.
So, yeah,
no objectives to fight. They are on soul point. And like we saw probably in the first game, these two teams are probably going to just opt to bounce waves back and forth until there's something to do. Baron won't be up for probably a couple more minutes at this moment, at the time, right? Oh, and it looks like the game has frozen once again. Have to see. Something Riot did with the in-game spectator mode kind of broke a couple patches ago, and we'll have to see if it's working again here.
All right. Oh
no, it seems we're stuck at 25 minutes here.
It does seem like we are experiencing a bit of technical difficulties with the spectator mode in League of Legends.
Yeah. I don't know if do we have the Discord feed of one of the players?
I believe we're trying to check and pull it up right now. In the meantime, like before everything froze there.
Yep.
I mean, we saw UWRF had a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, they had a slight gold lead. They have obviously they have the dragon lead. They're on soul point. So they're definitely feeling comfortable right now. It looks like in the time that we were gone, UWRF did win, either secured a Baron fight or won a fight. And now they're just opting into just like their final shove here, right?
Yeah.
They're feeling fairly uncomfortable. This fight is going down in very slow amounts of frame rate, but UWRF definitely coming out on top here.
We do see Volibear trying to go on the Jin, not being
trying
able
to finish
do
off
anything.
the Jin, but Jin is just so fast with his passive there when he crits. So it looks like that's a complete ace there for UWRF, and it's going to be just an easy finish here for them.
Yeah, another change Riot made in this patch was buffing Jin movement speed passive. So I guess we saw a little bit of that right
more
there.
Of a speed demon these days, yeah. So UWRF going to take the series 2-0 for their first game of nationals for NECC.
Yeah, this was a pretty stressful moment for UWRF.
So we're going to go into the replay there to watch the last couple minutes of the game that we missed out. Because we did miss from 25 minutes past. So we're going to quickly get that footage up for you guys here as soon as we can.
Yeah, but
yeah, definitely a rockier start for them this game. They were down, I think, like 3K plus at some point during that game. But they were able to bring it back just via Aaron just started playing a little bit more, just focused on farming their jungle, making sure that they weren't just like losing a bunch of like CS for nothing, right? Kind of just chilled out, realized like I'm behind, I need to get my farm. The top lane was actually pretty rock solid for most of the lane, despite getting ganked.
I feel like the Shen,
as much as they did.
Yeah, the Shen this time around was a pretty good pick against the Tryndamere here.
Yeah, and then it just seemed like when they started just taking those team fights, they actually just were doing much better, right? They started getting those Syndra roams off, And then Syndra was able to show up bot, able to show up top, and just like able to convert those kills, which really did help them get back in the game when they were able to secure those shutdowns. And then off of those plays, they actually were able to get Baron, and then that was when they started snowballing the game back in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, a bit of a fumble of the bag there from Eastern University. They're not fumbling a bit of kills towards UWRF and evening out the gold on on both sides.
All right, so we're getting to the game replay back here right now. So once this loads, we'll go to 25 minutes, and we'll be able to inspect exactly what happened here.
All
right. So at 25 minutes, the dragon has been taken, and currently there's just not really anything to do on the map. Baron is going to be the next objective up, just because the dragon just got taken.
And yeah, Tristana coming back from being killed earlier.
Yeah, both teams definitely seem very, very aware of this, right? Both of them are opting for. They're both heavily topside. Vision is being taken on both sides of the teams here, but just because UWRF currently has the stronger team fight, right? Oh, and it looks like Tristana forced to jump away here.
Yeah, Tristana once again like taking these weird angles and going into the middle of a lot of UWRF players.
Yep. But currently, as you can see on the map, minimap, Eastern University doesn't actually have any vision on the Baron, right? And the Baron's going to be up in about 1 minute now. So at about like 26, towards the end of the 26-minute mark, they're gonna have to, if UWRF rotates into the river, they're gonna have to walk in and check, right? You can't give a Baron away for free. And well, they also are dealing with the Shen split push, right? Trinamir doesn't have a TP, so if he's splitting on the side lane with a Shen, and
it looks like Volibear is getting run down by 3 members of UWRF.
Volibear gets super chunked here, and I think this is gonna be probably the catalyst here for them to probably look towards the Baron, knowing that, or actually take another fight here. Braum gets rooted up, knocked up by the Rakan, forced to shield out. R goes wide for the
Tristana.
Yeah, it goes wide for the Briar, but they pick Braum here, and now Trinamir just getting his head absolutely caved in by the Shen.
Shen just dealing a bit too much damage, and like Trinamir not being able to do enough damage to him.
Yeah, 2-item Shen just proving to be quite a monster into this Trinamir.
It looks like Erie's trying to go for a kill on the Tristana, and he gets it.
Yeah, they trade out the Tristana for the Syndra here, and with Trinamir having to back here, they still have the Shen shoving down on the bot lane with TP available if he needs it. Volibear going to have to choose one or the other. Where is he going to go? And it looks like he's going to look towards the Baron here, knowing that that will probably be the game if UWRF is able to secure that. Trinamir
backing in the open.
He doesn't have his ult here, actually, so doesn't quite go down. Is able to just barely live, but he's not going to be able to be there for the fight.
Will we see a repeat of the last time
And Shen is just going to back and probably TP into the fight here. Nope, Ops just TP now, cancels his back, TP's onto Aaron. Ult comes out from Asol, but there's just not enough follow-up. Asol goes down instantly. UWRF able to just kill the Volibear as well.
Erie also TPing right off of respawn just to help assist in that fight.
Yep, and they just didn't have the vision to like send the Volibear around back and like actually go for a steal or something. You know, the UWRF just set up vision too strong with their advantage, and it just causes Eastern University to overplay. Trinamir also getting caught in the bot lane did not help their cause there, right? Because Trinamir wasn't able to be here for that fight either. And so it ended up being like a 4v2, which just, it doesn't matter how fed you are. That's just always going to be hard to win. And yeah, as you see it, UWRF secures the Baron. And so now they have even more of a gold. They've expanded their gold lead to 3,000, right? They have advantage in the side lane with the Shen. And it looks like there's just going to be a fight over blue buff here. And Aaron smites it away. And then knock-up comes out here from the...
We do see a current call coming in from Jin, and as well as a knock-up on Braum to just kill him.
Yeah, knock-up actually Volley and... Or no, not Volley. It was... Who did they knock up? They knocked up Trist. They got Trist there as well. So they knocked up Trist and Braum, trying to steal away, going for like a desperate camp steal there. So now they're down their strongest member, the Tristana.
Volibear going in for a greed, trying to get that red buff.
Volibear dies for his red here, and now you're 2v5 versus a Baron buff team, which just means that all of your you can just say goodbye to all your towers, right? Asol looking to back now to help his team. Shen shoving out the bottom wave, and Aaron just looks like he's just going to go over to Dragon here. and take Soul Point.
Yeah, I feel like the Trinimir on the side of Eastern University isn't an ideal choice. Mainly because like Trinimir can't help out in team fights as much as like a Shen can.
No, I mean they just probably got. I didn't see how the draft went. I assume the Shen got picked after the Tryndamere. But
It was picked after the Tryndamere.
Yeah, but again, just absolutely turbo one shot there by the Syndra, which is what we were talking about, right? It doesn't matter what your DPS is if your Syndra just one shots you. Jin going really low there to the Tryndamere, but he's able to get out thanks to some shielding from the Rakan.
And then
yeah.
Hopefully you can see some of this Jin movement. Like that Jin movement speed buff really is a lot.
Yeah, it definitely saves him there. And I mean, not that it really mattered. I mean, so many people had already fallen on the side of Eastern University that it was going to be a very easy cleanup for UWRF, and they actually clean ace them here to end out the game. So
yeah, that's the end of the series. It's a 2-0 victory for UWRF here.
Yeah, UWRF started out a little rocky this game, but they were able to capitalize on some nice roams from their Syndra player and just like get some shutdowns into a Baron play, and then after that, just slowly grew their gold lead to take back the game there. So, yeah, as you can see, they were behind almost 5,000 at one point in the game, but yeah, just through some picks, they kind of stopped dying, as you can see in the bottom there.
Yeah.
And then after that, just gradually they shrunk the lead and took over. So. Well played to UWRF. Well played to Eastern University. And when's our next game, Dylan?
Is it next Wednesday? We'll be going into top 8. Nice.
All right,
We'll be going to top 8 for national bracket.
So yeah, come watch next Wednesday on Cheer Our Team On for top 8.
All right.